Welcome back to Simply Eric Vlogs. I'm Eric Thurow. Again, this is going to be another video. If you watched my previous video, I had to sit down with the owner of F45 Training, Ben Irwin. This is the follow-up now. We're going to have another guest on, which you may have seen actually maybe a couple of videos ago, where I just did a brief little stint with the manager who's next to me. But this is the full-on interview version of it now. We're going to do this and have a nice little conversation. So that way you get to know, not just from the owner's perspective of the F45 Training on the gym that I go to, or the studio that I go to, but the whole experience and another perspective, you know, so the way there's no bias. It's kind of more open window, open picture of the perspective of what F45 Training is and what it's about. So let me go ahead with that. With no further ado, let's go ahead and introduce Ryan. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Eric. Yeah, excited.
Glad to have you on. You know, I know we had you on that little Brent, you know, the handheld version of the video that I did. But basically, go ahead and just introduce yourself a little bit, say where you're from, and then just let people know what your position here is at F45.
Yeah, well, thank you again for having me. This is going to be really fun. I'm excited. Eric's in the gym all the time. It's really great having him here. My name is Ryan Wittig. I'm the studio manager at this F45 Training studio. Our location is North Sunnyvale. We opened last August, so August 11th, 2018. So we've been open a little over a year now. We've grown really, really quickly, and we have a great community of members. Every class seems to be a different energy. They're always full, always fun. The weight days are awesome, the cardio days are fast, and Saturdays are super pumping.
Yeah, and I can attest about the speed of the classes. They actually, when you're sort of like going at a slow pace when you're trying to get into it, but once things get going, and maybe after the first set or maybe the second set of your exercise for the day, before you know it, you're halfway done, and then before you know it, you're close to being done. You know, so it's really good pace, and the momentum there, your focus is there, and Ryan and of course Ben are the two top trainers here that give you the encouragement to keep going and keep motivating, as well as also the other classmates for that particular class session. Everybody's encouraging here, like I've said before, it's a welcoming environment. So you may have heard that before when I say, when I go to a new facility, whether it be here at F45 Training, which is more of a studio than it is a gym, or if I go to another gym that has actually all the machines and weights and all that stuff that's considered like a regular gym, that I always go and check out, especially if you're going to have someone that's considered more like a personal trainer. And with F45 Training, that's basically what you get here. You don't just get in, they put music on, and then you have screens on the wall teaching you the movements, and then you just go free at it and you follow the screens. No, you have gentlemen like Ryan and you have Ben here, along with a few other staff members here that are there in the class. Usually it's just two at a time that are there to encourage you. So with that said, I always look for history and get to know the trainers before I actually trust them to work me out or to do anything with nutrition or with physical body appearance, because you want to do that. So with that said, Ryan, let's go back into where you began. How did you first get into the exercise and nutrition field, and then how did you transition from there into F45 Training?
Oh yeah, okay, so we're gonna go way back.
Yeah.
So ever since I was a really little kid, I've always been into sports and athletics, and I was a crazy child. I could not sit still. So I basically played, from growing up, I always played football, I did wrestling, I did baseball, I did track and field, a lot of skateboarding, a lot of snowboarding. Every day I was outside until it was dark, until my mom had to call me back home. So I was always outside, but yeah, I think the cool thing about what I did is I grew up, I went to college, I studied health and exercise science, and I had a minor in biomedical science. So I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do, I just knew that I wanted to be in the health and fitness industry. As soon as I graduated from college, I lived in Vail for a little bit, and I was working with ski instructors, ski patrollers, mountain safety. I did a lot of snowboarding, and then that was when I was in Colorado.
Yeah,
Born and raised in Denver.
Colorado, yeah.
Yeah.
There people know where Vail is, yeah.
Yes, and then I moved out to the Bay Area about 2014. I was working in corporate health and fitness. I was actually director of personal training at a big giant tech company, and we had hundreds of members, lots of personal training, one-on-ones type stuff. And then I got involved with F45 Training in 2017 when we opened Stanford University's first studio. It's a lot smaller than our studio. It's about maybe 1,000 square feet or something like that. They currently just opened their second studio there, but that was March 2017. So since then I've been coaching anywhere from 10 to 30 classes per week, usually over at Stanford on Wednesday. So that was kind of my insight, was always on cardio days. But as soon as Ben came into the picture, he invited me to open the studio with him, and we started working together in July of 2018. And then a month later, we had all of our equipment ready, rock and roll, and our doors opened on August 11th.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been the manager ever since, and we've grown this membership to what it is today.
Yeah, and like you said, August 11th of 2018, that's when when Ben and I recorded our last video. It was actually 1 month after the day of your 1 year anniversary, exactly.
Wow.
So it was September 18th.
Cool.
But going back to your education, and what kind of certifications have you received to pursue this?
Yeah, I think continuing education is very, very important. Like, so if you have a degree, obviously that trumps a lot of certifications. But I mean, so obviously everybody starts with the first day of CPR, AED, right? So if something bad happens, you can save someone.
Yeah.
And then I started with my, I had functional movement screening. So just learning how the body moves and how to identify whether it be asymmetries or injuries and how to predict future injuries. So again, going back to safety and making sure that everybody's having fun, but also being efficient.
Yeah.
My next certification was, I want to say it was my certified personal training license. So I've had that ever since 2013. And then from there, I did a lot of the TRX certifications. So learning how to use the suspension trainer, the rip trainer. I did, believe it or not, Jillian Michaels body shred, which is all hit based.
Okay.
That one's super fun, super effective, very short, 30-second
not
burst.
endorsed. Jillian Michaels not endorsed. No plug.
But that is a fantastic certification,
Yeah.
which leads us into HIIT training.
Yeah.
There's strength, there's cardio, and core in that one. And then I think my favorite certification of all time was Training for Warriors by Martin Rooney. That was very, very important. Not so much about exercise per se. It's more or less learning about how to be a leader and how to be a good coach.
Yeah.
It's about putting on some sort of a show, like, again, going back to safety and effectiveness, but also like everybody's literally paying me to get them results.
Yeah.
And if they're not getting results, I have to look back at myself and see why.
Yeah. So like he said, he's stressing out of everything that he just said with his certifications, he's stressing the point of safety and preliminary work and education before affecting any kind of exercise on your body, which is what I go through. I go through to make sure everybody has the safety part, and because you are trusting your personal body and your health to somebody who you just either just met or you're just getting to know, you never seen before. So like you're like, how are you going to keep me protected when I'm going through all this strenuous work that your body may have never endured before with the workout, whether it be here at F45 Training, excuse me, or whether it be at another gym, any place, or even just going outdoor walking or whatever, or hiking or whatever. So as you, how did you go? You said you met Ben, or you came with across Ben in Stanford area, in Palo Alto. How did you get to meet him, and how did you guys meet in the first place?
Yeah, really funny actually. So definitely not another plug, but one of my all-time mentors and like someone that I owe the world to. Her name is Dana, and if you're watching, I owe you the world and flowers. Dana Prieto.
Okay.
She is an angel. So when I was working in Colorado, I had met her, and I was looking for a job here in the Bay Area, and she actually was the general manager that hired me in corporate fitness.
Okay.
So she brought me out to Palo Alto, and then we were working together for about a year or two, and then she took a job at F45 corporate headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, Facebook message happened, and she said, hey, I have a client for you. She introduced me to Stanford. She messaged me another year later and said, hey, I have another client for you. She introduced me to Ben. Ben and I got coffee. We talked about F45, and the rest is history.
See how he said coffee before F45. So it's always the coffee pre-workout before the actual training. So what do you look? How has been your experience here at F45? And we're here at the North Sunnyvale location, which is in the San Jose metropolitan area, south of the Bay Area.
Yep. My experience here has just been phenomenal. I mean, every day is different. There's never, ever a slow day here. And if there is, we can find a million things we can be using our time for. I'd say, I mean, just in terms of the experience alone, like being the general manager here, the studio manager, if you will, I mean, we do so many things. We wear so many different hats. And that's the coolest thing is like, there's a few hours out of the day that I'm, a trainer or a coach, but then there's a few hours out of the day where I'm working on sales or marketing or operations or staffing or recruiting or just business partnerships. Always trying to be 2, 3, 4 days or 2, 3, 4 weeks ahead, and just planning the next big event or planning a business partnership or the next challenge or even next year at this point, being November 7th. We're looking forward to January already.
Yeah. So if someone say if I was new to F45, which I'm not, as obviously that's why I'm doing these videos, because I encourage it and not promote it. This is not a paid sponsor or anything. But basically, if I were to walk into F45 training, how would I go about learning about F45 training in general? It'll be here in North Sunnyvale or another one in California or wherever that F45 is. How can I learn about what this is about and determine whether this is the right fit for me?
Yeah, that's a great question. So a lot of people, they come to us already with an idea or something in their head of what F45 training is because they've seen somebody's social media posts or they've seen something on the internet or Facebook or whether it be like they heard from a friend the results they got. I know a lot of people come to us and they're afraid. They see the videos online of like the super fast, the very high pumping music. The classes are packed with 30 people. And one thing too is just like Eric said, is we stress safety and effectiveness all day long. So if you see those videos online, just know that they're videos that are designed to be pump ups.
Yeah.
But a lot of times when people come in, it's a lot of people that are brand new to fitness. You know, they're just getting into it. They're afraid. They're looking to lose weight. They're looking to build muscle. They want to build confidence. Or they're people that have been athletes in the past that are just looking to get back into fitness. So there's a lot of different ways, but most of the time, most important thing is just to come in and talk to the coach.
Yeah, that's best basically do. Talk to a coach, and I know some places. I know this place gives out like a week trial at a rate right now. It's like $20.
Correct. Yep. So we do offer a 1 week trial for $20. You can train as much as you want. Most of our memberships are all unlimited based, so you can come and train as many times as you want throughout the weeks.
Yeah. So this is a very fun place to like. I can't emphasize that enough. If it was boring, I'll rather go to the library and work out. Work out my brain. No, but this is a fun place. It's like, like I've said before, and I've said over and over again, will be through my social media posts when I do post from here. That it's like a club. Like they have like professional DJ styles, club night speakers. That I used to have too when I was back doing DJing in the early 2000s. They have JBLs. I had Yamaha, but anyways, yeah. So it's nice. F45 radio is a great mixture of music. It's a combination of EDM, house, trance, and also some hip hop, some fast hip hop, up tempo hip hop stuff, not the slower stuff, because it has to keep you pumped in and keep you motivated. Yep. So if you come to a class and you say like you're halfway through a class, and you know someone's sort of falling away, how do you go about trying to keep them motivated during the class or to continue coming to the classes?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we're really here to help people get stronger, lose weight, feel better about themselves, and really build community too. I think that's one thing that really sets F45 apart from other gyms, but also boutique studios, is we really emphasize the community aspect of what we do. And we know every single person by their first name, last name, they know the kids' names, the dogs' names. It's really fun because at the end of the day, even if we've got a class packed with 30, 40, 50 people, it seems like everybody's really starting to get to know each other. And even if they don't know each other's first names, like they at least see each other often enough where they can spark conversation. But again, if I catch someone halfway through the class and they're having a great workout, then I can motivate them to do more. Or if I see someone halfway through the class that's slacking or looks like they're struggling, then for me it's like I know that person's stronger than that. Why are they having an off day? Maybe they didn't sleep last night, maybe they had a bad day at work, maybe their dog is sick, their kid's sick. So at the end of the day, for me, it's not always about crushing people. It's about helping them just get 1% better every day. And if they're having an off day, then it's for me to be like, well, what's going on? And how can I be a coach, not just a personal trainer that's pushing them?
Yeah, I know it's from a personal perspective, when I have an off day, one of the best results that you get from this place, skip the exercise, resistance, and all that stuff, and the HIIT training cardio, which is actually important. But one of the more key factors that's really important that I found over time is that it reduces your stress levels. Stress is so important to overcome and try to reduce in your life because it could provide so many ailments to your body that you don't even know it's actually the source of it. Like stress, you can't sleep because you're stressed about something, or you can't work out, or you can't eat, or anything. You can't function in the day because you have so much stress and so much anxiety in working out. The endorphins that are built up from working out here help reduce those stress, and it helps eliminate and gives you a better day. And trust me, I have that. I get anxiety attacks. I have PTSD myself from a previous bad experience I've had. But not to get into that. But overall, after let's go on and talk about this. You talk about challenges. So I know we're like in the middle of a challenge currently. Let's say the challenge is about to begin in your advertising. You're trying to introduce people to come in and welcome to those challenges. What can one expect in a challenge? Like what's the duration and what they can expect in there?
Yeah, the challenge is an 8-week program. It's the F45 Challenge. It is our world-class signature program. It's 8 weeks. Our last one started exactly 4 weeks ago, so we're in the middle right now. This one will currently end on December 8th. And then basically the way that the challenge works is at the very beginning, we offer a huge nutrition plan. So the first 2 weeks are always focused on a detox, so reducing red meat, decreasing caffeine, really just increasing fruits and vegetables, more sleep, more water, really just detox, reset the body for the program. The middle 4 weeks are all about building lean muscle mass, so we do start to increase calories a little bit. We increase more protein into the diet, and then the last 2 weeks at the very, very end of the program, we do a little bit of a lower carbohydrate, we cut back the calories a little bit so you get that last kind of 3 to 5 pound shred. We do track a lot of the metrics, so we track attendance first of all. Second of all, we do body composition testing on an in-body machine. So we track body fat percentage, skeletal muscle mass, overall body weight, total body water, lean muscle mass, etc. And then we also do photos. So even if someone didn't lose any weight over the challenge, we can obviously see the difference in their body composition from day one to the very end of the challenge. So we do photos and then body scans and then also the fitness test, which is called the F45 playoffs. And it's a world-renowned standardized fitness test, which is 10 stations and they're all timed and we count your reps and so everybody gets a score.
Yeah, so he says that he talks about nutrition and all that stuff. Of course, everything is individualized according to each individual result because we're all individual people. Like, I'm different from him. We don't look alike. He has brown hair. I have the nice, luckily blonde hair. Sorry that you have brown hair, but no, that's kidding. But yeah, so we're all different, in our body compositions, no matter what. Even if we're like, say, if we were the same mother and we're identical twins, there'd still be a little bit of a difference there, on how we led our lifestyle, even though we're twins. So, but yeah, and he takes into account that during the training. Of course, everything is, individualized for the participants. So, of course, there's a nice reward after the training and all that stuff. But the biggest reward, whether it be, let's say, if it's $1 million reward, the biggest reward is actually your overall health improvement, and you stressed for it, and the fact that you made it a major accomplishment. You set a goal out to do something, and then you did it. Now, I'm not at the point to do my challenges right now just because of scheduling issues and the requirements for the challenges and all that stuff. I would do it, but I'm still here like at least twice, 3 times, sometimes 3 times a week, depending on my schedule, of course. And that's what's key. If someone's worried about, they don't have the time, of course, F45, it's functional 45-minute training. That's what the 45 stands for, is for 45 minutes. You're here and you're gone. Not to make it sound like it's cold-hearted, but you can stay and chat a little bit afterwards because there's a little gap between classes. So how can someone worry about the scheduling and what features or accessories are out there to help them with the scheduling?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have a lot of classes. We have 40 different classes throughout the week. So lots and lots of options starting at 5:30 in the morning pretty much every single day. We run a 9:30 class, and then we have a noon class, 12:15. And then in the evenings, Monday through Thursday, we have a 5:15, 6:15, 7:15. Saturday mornings we run classes, and then we're closed on Sundays. So and then the cool thing too about what our schedule offers is, again, like Eric said, 45-minute classes. You get in, you warm up, you work out, you get out of here. If you want to do back-to-back classes, you can do that if you're looking for an hour-and-a-half workout. But generally, you just book yourself in through your app on your phone or do it through the website. And then from there, you just show up, train hard, and then get out on your way.
Yeah. And they do have a couple of showers here in the bathroom. So if you're in one of the ones that has to go back to work or go to a meeting afterwards or whatever, you can go ahead and clean up and shower here and all that stuff. And they do have the facilities ready for you. So that's basically what F45 is. I encourage overall. And I wouldn't be putting Ben on here. I wouldn't be putting Ryan on here if I didn't think it would work. And I wouldn't be coming here if I didn't think it would work. But it's fun. And it's also the fact that I'm driving across the valley to get here. I live on the east side of San Jose, and I'm driving all the way here to Sunnyvale. Yeah. And which, with me, with the timing and the classes I choose, it's not that much of a drive. It's like a 20-minute drive. But it's worth it. Because a lot of times I even have a membership to a regular gym that's like 2 or 3 minutes down the street from my house, and I don't find myself going to that gym except for once or twice on the weekends. Yeah. But the community here, like you said earlier in the video, that the community here, that everybody here is encouraging. Everybody here congratulates you for successful training at the end of the sessions, and it's just a great overall environment. So with that said, do you have any last minute words or anything that you can think of to get people out there, whether it be F45 training here in Sunnyvale or anywhere where can they find where they could get an F45 location?
Yeah, so the easiest way is just hop on the internet and just search F45 Training. Obviously, if you're anywhere near us, definitely come see us. We've got the biggest studio in the U.S. at this point. Yeah. We're about 5,000 square feet, so lots and lots of room, never a wait list, lots and lots of room just to have a great time and make results.
That's bragging rights too.
Yeah, absolutely, bragging rights for sure. We got room here.
Yeah.
We also have a fantastic training staff. I'm very proud to be here. And also, again, Eric has been just crushing it ever since he started. So props to Eric. Thank you guys for having us. It's all about results. So if you're not getting results, I take credibility for that. So definitely come hang out with us at 45 Training North Sunnyvale.
So check them out. Like I said, you can check them out on the web, and you can download the app from iPhone, iOS, Apple, or the Android store, Google Play Store, whatever have you, and you can check them out. Or you can, if you want to check out this particular store, if you're in the San Jose Metropolitan, just go to F45NorthSunnyvale.com, and it'll take you right to the webpage here on F45Training.com, which is a domain name I registered to forward to here because it's longer if you do that way. That way they have it. But just go ahead and check it out. It's F45. It's a great place to check it out in your location, wherever you're at. And they are worldwide. So they're the largest gym franchisee around the world. So they're based out of Australia, once again, like I said in the previous video. So just check them out. All right. So I guess that's it. Thanks, Ryan, for being on.
Sure.
You have a great day. And we'll see you on the next video.